Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dr. Music Podcast once again. Today, sitting in with me, Nick Melissourgos. Nick is the founder and frontman of thrash metal band Suicidal Angels. The band was
Hello, everyone.
Yes, the band was created in 2001 in Athens, Greece. They have played some of the biggest festivals and opened for the largest names in the genre, including the opening slot for the Big Four in 2010. A huge, huge show. The band is about to release their eighth studio record, eight records. It's called Profane Prayer, and it will be available on Nuclear Blast Records on March 1st. Nick, thanks so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, eight records, man. You've been doing this a very, very long time. It's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, almost 20 years. It's
Yeah,
been almost a lifetime.
yeah, man. And that Big Four show and so many other shows. You got a lot under your belt. You come into this record, Profane Prayer. It is
Hmm.
accomplished. It is one of the best records in the genre that I've heard. And I've been
Thank you.
Yes, I've been around this genre for a very long time. I grew up with the Slayers and the Testaments and the Megadeths and Exodus, and that's what I love about the genre. That kind of sound. When I hear Suicidal Angels, I hear that. I hear a little bit of melody. I hear solos that I can maybe sing. Yeah, I don't get that from a lot of the newer bands in the genre, not so much. What do you feel that this band offers thrash metal that maybe some of the others don't?
Actually, I could not say what other bands don't offer to the whole thing. What I can say is that actually the way that we work through the years is that we take all our influences from back of the 80s, of course, all these big bands that we toured with, and they are our icons and everything. And we just like filter the whole thing through our own perspective about music. And we try somehow to create through the years our own style and our identity. And I think that gradually and eventually we managed to create that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I listened to it. It's Suicidal Angels. It has those elements of different bands that we all love in the thrash genre. But it's at the end of the day, the bottom line, it's Suicidal Angels music, very much your own, and that's a beautiful thing. I love the way you guys play with speed and melody, and you're doing different things on this record. We get some really interesting sounds. Fire Pass of Fate, probably my favorite
Mhm.
song on the new record. Just an
Thank
unbelievable
you.
masterpiece of a song. Um, we get a beautiful female chant voice almost in the beginning. I hear a dobro type of sound coming. This is, a bit unusual in the thrash genre. You do these things and it makes it Suicidal Angels. What am I hearing? Is that a dobro that I hear in the song?
What does dobro means exactly?
Okay, a different kind of guitar. It's like a steel guitar. There's a
No, 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 no,
sound.
no.
Yeah.
Actually it's a traditional Greek instrument.
Wow.
It's
Unbelievable.
called it's called santuri in Greece. I think it's santuri in English or something like that.
Okay.
It's like it's like imagine a table with strings, double strings, and you just play it like that.
Wow. With like mallets.
With some sticks that in the end of the stick there is something like let's say covered with cotton.
Right.
And
Wow.
yeah, it's quite an acoustic instrument, and it has a really unique sound. And the effort behind that was like the riff in Fire Paths of Faith in the middle is kind of has this Eastern approach, like if you want to say so, the scale of the guitar. So I was like, oh, let's try that out, and let's see how it sounds like combined together.
Yeah.
And it was kind of an experiment. We didn't know what's gonna come out of it. So it was like, okay, let's go in the studio, let's record the song, and as soon as we finish it, let's bring in somebody that knows how to play this instrument and let her improvise.
It's a great sound. It just expands the palette of thrash music. You
Actually, this is kind of difficult, because the borders of thrash metal music, they are like really really tight, and especially when you are creating a long song in duration,
Mhm,
the line between making it boring or interesting is really really thin.
mhm.
So we had to pay attention a lot on the details.
Yeah, and it's clear. It is clear that you paid attention because it is a masterpiece. It really
Thank
is.
you.
It is great. And I love that you expand that palette and step outside the box a little. Are you hesitant to do that? I know a lot of that's a thing, and a lot of the thrash metal, the box is fairly small, and a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
bands, I think a lot of bands are afraid to go soft, or they're afraid to have more melody. Um,
Hmm.
you don't seem afraid to do that, and it stays heavy, it stays thrash, but you add those elements. Are you hesitant when you do those things?
As I told you before, it's just like it was just an experiment that ended up nicely.
Hmm.
I mean, like we all agreed, let's try that out. But if it doesn't sound, if it doesn't fit, sorry, if it doesn't fit, we're gonna skip it. But in the end of the day, it sounded really really nicely,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we said, okay, now it sounds really nice. And now how you mix this fucking thing?
And that's the other
Yeah,
thing.
but in the end of the day, we're trying to think outside of the box a little bit because, as I told you before, we try to filter all of our influences through our own perspective about music. We
Yeah,
don't wanna we don't wanna sound like a stereotype or something,
right. Yeah, and that's what
which
makes
which is not which is not an easy thing to do, by the way.
yeah, absolutely. Especially in thrash music because the box is smaller, a lot of the stuff starts to sound the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
And these types of things really make you. You get your own voice with this when you add these types of elements. It's beautiful. It's great. Um,
Thank you.
Deathstalker, another one that stands out to me. Another longer, more progressive sound, but you incorporate an acoustic guitar. There's harmony parts, electric parts. The harmony guitars. These kinds of, and we get your voice. We get a clean voice in this one. We really hear your
It's not
singing.
me.
What was that?
It's not me.
Oh, it isn't. Really?
Nope. Nope.
Wow.
Uh, we have three guests on this song. I mean, when I went down to the studio to record the Stalker, Sakis from Rotten Christ was there recording something on his own. And as soon as he finished, I just jumped in the recording room. So I started singing the whole thing, and I asked him like, would you like to join? Because we're friends anyways. And he said like, yeah, why not? And so he started singing some of the verses. And like an hour later, a Themis from Nightfall came over. He said like, I want to do something also as well. And Fotis, the ex-drummer of Septic Flesh, he was actually the sound man behind the desk. And he's like, I'm gonna do some clean vocals in the middle.
Wow. Uh,
And there you go. It
it
was totally it was totally coincident. It was not arranged. It was not planned. Nothing.
Wow, the way it blends is just unbelievable. It sounds like what your voice would be in a clean sound. It matches so well. Really, it's great. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah. That's great. And some fantastic guests there from some more great bands. Really, really special stuff. Um, Are you hesitant to do those things? I mean, when you try them, when you say you're gonna put those things in there, you're not hesitant to do that.
Nope.
Yeah, you guys will experiment with that, and if it fits, you go with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just fool around with music.
Yeah,
If it fits,
great.
it fits.
That's great.
If it doesn't, it doesn't.
That's great. It's really cool. Now a lot of this record recorded during the lockdown, right? The
No, I was up. I mean, it was recorded after the lockdown.
Okay, written around the lockdown.
Some parts,
Okay,
some parts.
was it influential on the themes of the record, the darkness maybe of the record, and that time? Do we hear some of that reflected into this music?
Possibly. I'm not sure about it.
Okay.
Of course, this whole thing could not leave me unaffected, to be honest.
Oh,
Uh, but it wasn't like planned to be like that. When we are writing down music, when we're creating the songs, it's like we don't have the stereotype of saying like, okay, we have to do this or we have to do that or we have to do that. We just jump around. I bring in the ideas. Guys, this is this and that and that. Yes, we like it. Let's start fooling around with the music.
yeah, excellent. And now I know you're an avid reader, and you listen to podcasts of philosophy and psychology and things like that that inspire the lyrics
Hmm.
a lot of times. Do you have a favorite book? I know you read a lot. Do you have one that, is really closer to your heart that, inspires you a lot of the time?
Closer to the heart, I wouldn't say so because all these books are connected. I mean, starting from ancient Greece and a lot of books from Platonas and some other stuff from Heraclitus and some other stuff later on from Rome, from Marcus Aurelius, and goes on and on and on. And
Yeah.
Schopenhauer, Nietzsche, and the French Revolution, and all this stuff, they're all connected. So, I mean, like, there is nothing like really specifically preferable.
Okay.
I like to read them all and to find the common truth, the common ground that they have.
Right. Yeah, it's a great source. And Greece so rich in that history too.
Yeah, yeah,
With
exactly.
mythology and things like that. You mentioned Marcus Aurelius. Brings me back to the videos. You got videos for Purified by Fire, and there is a quote on the video for When the Lions Die at the end, I believe, from Marcus Aurelius. Uh, you have an uncensored and censored version. What made
Hmm.
you do the censored version? Was that before the record company? Was there something in there that somebody didn't like or anything like that?
No, no, no. Has only to do with the restrictions of YouTube.
Okay.
Nothing else. Because there was a small concern or fear from the label that maybe the YouTube restrictions they're gonna throw down the whole channel of the label
Okay.
because of the uncensored stuff. But I mean, like for God's sake, in this internet, you can find on YouTube, you can find a shitload of extreme stuff for God's sake. But you have to play by the rules sometimes.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, and it's not a whole lot different, but yeah, I mean, and they are both out there,
Yeah,
which is nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you do want to view the uncensored one, you can. I recommend viewing every one of them. The great videos, awesome, really powerful.
Thank you
Definitely.
very much.
Um, I don't know that I've ever seen you with anything but your Jackson Flying V. You love that guitar, don't you?
I mean, like I'm with this beast since 2007.
Yeah, it's great. It looks great on you. It sounds great on
Thank
this
you,
record. It
thank you.
is super sharp. Um, Do you play a lot of guitar? Are you a one guitar guy? I mean, I think there's two types. There's guys that play one guitar and they love that guitar, and I hear 75% of it on a record. And then there's other guys who play three different guitars on every song. Um, what do we hear on the record? Are you playing basically your Flying V, or do you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Basically, I mean, like one of the rhythm guitars is the Flying V, and the other one was like I tried a Gibson Explorer that Fotis had in the studio,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh, that sounds nice. Let's try and record that for then the other rhythm part.
uh, uh,
So yeah, I used like an Explorer,
Okay.
Gibson Explorer and my Flying V.
Excellent. What about on the road? Do you take a full case of guitars, or do you just take a couple?
No, no, I mean, like I have my two Jacksons, the USA series. One is the King V that you saw, and the other one is the Ferrari Red, the Kelly,
Yeah.
and which is my backup. So it's just like I just like use those two guitars. It's like one is the main gun, and the other one is the secondary gun.
Yep. I love it. I love it. I love that. I love that playing that one guitar. It is part of you for sure. And I really like that. That's cool. Um,
Thank you very much.
you're very young on those early records. I listened to them as a fan, and I am just as impressed. Really, they're very accomplished records. The playing is great. You know, the production even is good. Um, are you still proud of that early stuff? When you listen to it, I mean, you've come a long way. When you listen to the early stuff, are is there anything you cringe at, or do you still
No, no,
enjoy it?
no, no. No, I mean, like I'm not cringing on anything. It's just like I mean, like, every album represents a different era of the band. So, uh, if just with a big if I could do something differently, it's just like maybe remastering some of the older stuff.
Yeah, yeah, because it sounds great. It sounds great. There's a great history with this band of consistently good music, and that's very difficult, especially when you start so young. It's a great legacy you have going here. What do you feel the biggest change is from that time till now? For you personally, as a player, as a person in the business, all of those things.
I'm I'm just getting older, for God's sake.
Aren't we all?
Oh, yeah, yeah. All the rest are the same. The passion is there. The passion is there. The dedication is there. I spend a shitload of time on the band. Uh, Nowadays, even more than in the past, because things are getting even more serious than in the past.
Right.
But the only difference is I'm just getting older. All the rest are there.
It's great. It's great.
Cheers to that. Cheers to
Yes,
that.
absolutely, absolutely. You're an incredibly talented guitar player. You don't just play one thing. You have harmony and you have structure, and it's lyrical the way you play a lot of times, which again, sometimes odd in the genre of thrash. I hear so many different things in your playing. If you were offered a position in a band that was different, say a Tool or a Def Leppard, maybe even something, really quite different. Um,
I can hear Def Leppard, but towards a bit too much extreme from the whole thing. I mean, like I love Def Leppard.
but any of those things, I think I listen to you play and I think this guy can play anything. I just think that I think you're that talented. Is that
Thank you.
Would you entertain something like that? Something of a huge band like that says, we'd like you to fill in and play guitar for us on this tour.
I to be honest, I haven't thought about that. But I would do it just for the experience, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Why not? Why not?
yeah, yeah.
I haven't thought about that, to be honest. I mean, like, but I would do that for the experience.
Yeah, yeah. I like I say, I think you could play anything. It's wonderful.
Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Really do. Um, Anything you've wanted to do in your life, you've done a lot and started at a very young age, and you've accomplished a lot of things. You've played on the biggest stages there are. Is there anything on that bucket list, so to speak, where you've always wanted to do something and you haven't had a chance yet?
Uh, to be honest, I'm gonna answer your question with a quote, but I don't remember from where because the information are a lot is a lot in my head. Uh, if your limit is the sky, I have seen the moon.
That's beautiful. It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
I hopefully covers your question.
It sure does. It sure does, and that's a unbelievably great response. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I know you want to tour
You know,
every.
I don't say it in an arrogant way. Don't get me wrong, of course.
Yeah, no, no, no. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's beautiful. You're touring. You want to tour everywhere. I've heard you say
Yeah.
that. You want to book as many shows as you can. You want to play for as many people as you can. That is great news. Will we see you in the U.S.? I know that's a difficult thing to plan and structure. Is that a possibility for
Uh,
you?
actually, before this COVID pandemic thing happened, we had we had an offer to do the States for 6 weeks on if it was like October, November 2020. But unfortunately, this whole thing was blown up in the air. But the last year, previous year, we signed with a booking agency in the States. So I hope and I believe that if not this year, because this paperwork takes a lot of time with the visas and everything, if not this year, maybe next year we're gonna come over to your country, to your state, to your territory, to your grounds, whatever.
And you will be welcomed with open arms, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, like we receive a lot of comments from people in the States that just come over and come over, but the whole thing is not exactly that easy.
Yeah. Oh, I would. Yeah, I know it. Touring itself in your own land, in your own
Yeah,
country,
yeah.
is a task. So to come over here and plan a tour and get everything going in the right direction is very difficult. Uh,
Hmm.
Boy, we wish you the best with that and hope that happens. Uh,
Thank you very much.
Nick, thank you so much for your time. I love the record. I can't wait for people to hear it. You can go to the official website, suicidalangels.net. Profane Prayer out March 1st everywhere. European tour also starts on March 1st in Germany and ends in Spain on April 15th. And then we'll see if we can get you over here. That would be great, man.
Hopefully, as I said before, hopefully we will try to do our best and somehow try to make it over to the States.
Yeah, fantastic. Nick, thank you so much for your time.
Have a good day. Thank
All
you very
right.
much for your time.
You too. Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.